Yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. We are in 175th session of the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle, and we are discussing the last chapter. The last chapter is 18th chapter, very special, and there are some very interesting practical concepts that Krishna is sharing with all of us in the 18th chapter. Last time we had discussed until verse number 17, and we will continue from where we have left this session. But before we begin, let us chant the pranam mantras as we do always. The pranam mantras will be displayed on the screen, so kindly join your palms and chant along with me the pranam mantras. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and my beloved spiritual master. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for the Bhagavad Gita study cycle once again. So we had discussed until the last session, that was verse number 17. Krishna is talking very nicely about how one needs to do karma, but you need to give up karma phala. That is real karma sannyasa yoga. Real tyaga. We understood the tyaga in the mode of sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna, right? So, in verse number 11, Krishna said that how it is impossible for us to remain without action. This body is there, it means it has to perform some action. It cannot be actionless. Body means we have to perform some action. At least for drinking or eating, we need to perform action. Without the bodily movement, this body cannot be sustained. Body has to be in action for it to remain active and lively. Otherwise, gone. No action, it's a dead person. Very clear, right? So we need to know that we cannot become actionless. Why this question is come? Why Krishna is answering this? Because earlier some of the munis had told that, oh, action, karma means it has certain defects. And the defect is papa punya. Right? And because of papa punya, then there is rebirth. So the question might come that, okay, if I don't perform action only, then it is no question of defects. Krishna is saying no. Just because you want to avoid the defects of karma, you cannot avoid karma. You have to do karma as long as this body is there. This is why this was answered, right? And then we also understood how there is Ishtaphala, there is Anishtaphala, there is Mishraphala, right? There is Punya, Anishtaphala because of Papa karma, Ishtaphala because of Punya karma, Mishraphala because of the mixed actions. And mostly we human beings are performing mixed actions, and that's why we are here in this Bhuloka. Because Anybody who does punya karma, they are in heavenly planets, and papa karma, they are in hellish planets. But we are here. It is an indication that we are actually we have done mixed karma in our past. This is very important. Now, if we want to escape this phala, then we have to understand the knowledge, action, and what is my true nature. That is what is karma sannyasa. Real karma sannyasa comes only when we become completely detached from the phala. This is what we have discussed in detail in the previous, right? And the most important verse we discussed was verse number 14, where it talks about the five factors of action, right? Adhishtanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshta, Daiva. In detail, we have understood all this Annamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, right? All these different things we have understood. Very special. These five factors of action, if somebody understands, it will help us actually to uh, be little stress free, because after doing what you're supposed to do, you are completely dependent on daiva and the other factors for your results. So you are very clear. So you know only what is in your capacity is your action. What is in your circle of influence is your action. Beyond that, there are certain things that you cannot do. So there is you must all have heard, there is a circle of influence, there is a circle of concern. So you do what is in your circle of influence. You can do certain things, but you may be concerned about certain things, but they are beyond your reach. We have no scope of doing anything with respect to the manipulation of the results. No, it's not possible. Daiva is involved, right? So we can do chesta and we can perform proper action, but certain things which are beyond us, if you know this five factors properly, then in our life also you will be little satisfied and happy that okay, I'm doing my work, I'm not worried about the result will come accordingly. So when this is there, this kind of attitude is there, it will relieve a lot of stress from us. Most people are always worried about what? Result. ये क्या होगा, वहां पे क्या होगा, ऐसे कैसे होगा, हो गया तो क्या होगा, ऐसा हो गया तो क्या होगा, उसका क्या होगा, इसका क्या होगा. Always they're constantly thinking about the result, right? So this keeps mind very agitated. People in the share market, people who are betting on the cricket match, constantly they're agitated. Very difficult for them. So you should know that okay, I'll do my work and I'll not be disturbed with the phala. So this is what we have understood. We also discussed a little bit more about how when a person is completely detached from this body, mind, intelligence, this whole material existence that we have. So in our existence right now, there are two things. One is a spiritual existence, the soul, and there's a material existence, this body, mind, and intelligence. So when karma sannyasi, through performing karma, becomes detached from this body, he uses the body and then he becomes detached from the body. Then that person, even if he kills someone, there is no papa punya for him. This is what the 17th verse said. So such a person can even kill because he's completely detached. It doesn't make any difference to him because he's detached from body, mind, and intelligence. So now we will continue from the 18th verse. Okay. So let us chant the 18th verse today and begin our session from the 18th verse. Okay. We also have Divik joining us. So Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the 18th verse. ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता
त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना
त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना
करणं कर्म कर्तेति
करणं कर्म कर्तेति
विविध कर्म संग्रहः.
त्रिविधा कर्म संग्रह.
Please read the translation.
Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. So, there are some very important factors explained here now. What is that? Jnanam, Gneyam, Parignata. So, such an important thing that we should know. What is Jnanam? See, now this section specifically, Krishna is bringing up a very new topic. And that new topic is, how do I improve the quality of my karma? See, in the previous sections, we have understood that how there is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic actions. Then there is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, tyaga. All these different things we have understood in terms of the three modes. Now, Krishna is bringing a new thing here. Is that is how do I improve the quality of my karma? Now he has told what if a person is detached from this body, mind, and intelligence completely, he's a sattvic person, he's a karma sannyasi. Such a karma sannyasi, even if he kills someone, then there is no problem. So Krishna is elaborating that now. What is that karma sannyasi actually doing? So that we have to understand. Let us analyze this now. See, if we take up or actually analyze the actions of people, basically there are two categories, two stages, you can say. Basically, what? There is knowing and doing. Before you perform any action, these two things are there. What is that? First, you know certain thing, and based on what you know, then you do that certain thing. Correct? That is what is called as two factors, two stages of performing karma. For performing any karma, first you should know. After knowing, then you should be doing. Right? But there's another very important thing that we should know in between is there is knowing, and when you know, and then there is something that you are supposed to do, after knowing, you need to desire for it. Just give an example, okay? Let us take an example. There is a new mobile phone that has come, okay, in the market. Now, what happens when the new mobile phone has come? There is a advertisement. So when you look at an advertisement, you know that there is a new product that has come. Then what happens is constantly, okay, there's a new product. Oh, it has this feature, it has that feature. There is something absolutely new in this. My mobile phone doesn't have this. This is something new. So it's a knowledge, it is knowing that there is something better than what I already have, right? So that is knowing. So when you know, then what happens? There is another time in the TV, you will see that same advertisement is coming. First, you saw it in the mobile, then it's in the TV, then you will see big, big billboards of the same mobile phone. So, constantly, what is happening when that same repetitive message is going to your consciousness, to your mind, then you will start desiring. Then you will say, yes, I think this mobile phone is enough. I'm done with this. It is all outdated. So now let me take the new one. Ah, I think it is better for me. I can do this way, that way, many more wonderful things. So you start desiring. So when that desire comes, then what is happening? You will go to the shop and then you will get it. So that is doing. So there is knowing, there is desiring, and then there is doing. So this is what inspire. What is inspiring us to perform action? What is inducing us to perform action? These about three things. What are those three about things? That is jnanam, gneyam, parignata. These three things are actually motivating our actions. This is something that we should know. So Jnanam, Gneyam, Parignata. Parignata means the doer or the knower. Gneyam means the object of knowing. Jnanam means knowledge. The object of knowledge, and Parignata is the knower of the knowledge. So, what is happening here is there is the doer of action is using the instrument of action to perform action. right? So, if you carefully see this verse, what is happening? Krishna is saying, Karanam karma karteti. So, the karta, the doer, is using the karanam. Karanam means the body and the senses to perform what? Karma. So, karanam, karma karteti. So, the karta is using the karanam to perform karma. Trivida karma sangraha. So, this is how an action is performed. See, so much details are there. When we perform any action, these are all subconsciously happening within us. We don't do any action simply like that. There is a lot of processing that is going on in our mind. Now, why we are trying to understand all this? Because ultimately, on a day-to-day basis, we are performing actions, right? So we should know this yantra properly. We should know the hardware and the software properly to optimally use this machine. When you have a proper knowledge about the mobile, most of the people, what they bring a very big mobiles, iPhone 15, iPhone 14, or whatever it is. But how much features do they really use in that? Hardly any, right? There are so many features, not everything that is being used there in that. So that means you're not optimally using. Similarly, in human form of life also, there are so many wonderful features, but are we using that? We are not using. That's why Krishna is nicely dissecting the whole system, and telling us this is what is happening. There is karta, and there is karanam, there is karma, there is jnanam, there is gneyam, there is parignyata. All these put together, six factors are there. These six things are actually sankarma sangraha. If you look at any of these karma, the final action that you perform is actually induced or inspired by all these factors, right? So, uh, when you take in a day any of your own action, okay, it might be cooking, it can be going out, it can be driving, it can be any of that thing. If you properly analyze, one of these is involved, karanam is involved, body and this thing is involved. Then there is jnanam, jnanam of cooking. This much masala only I have to put, this much only chili powder I have to use. You know, I have no knowledge about cooking at all. Absolutely no. If you tell me, then I have no jnana. If I cook something, it will be gone because jnana is not there. So if without jnana, if I simply go to the stove and try to do something, it will be a big flop. I'll simply mess up the whole thing. Okay, that's not my cup of tea as of now. But I desire, I do desire to learn something and learn cooking, by the way. But then, as of now, that jnana is not there. So, because there is no jnana, there is no motivation for my karanam, my body, to actually work in that aspect, right? But if you tell me driving, not a problem because already the jnana is there. You give me the vehicle key, immediately tuck, 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 and karma is performed, right? So only when there is jnana that motivates us to perform all this. But in between, all these different things are there. These stages are there. Okay. So now let us go again step by step. Let's see what Krishna is trying to say in the next upcoming verses. So Vinodji, you can unmute yourself and let's chant the next verse, 19th verse. ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
त्रिदैव गुणभेदतः
त्रिदैव गुणभेदतः
प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने
रोचते गुणसङ्ख्याने
यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि.
यथा वच्चूर्णतान्यपि.
Please read the translation.
According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now hear of them from me. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Straightforward, Krishna is saying three things here. What is he saying? That according to the three different modes of material nature, three modes means there are three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. There are three kinds of knowledge. Now, Krishna is first talking about knowledge here. What is that? Oh, not like that. Krishna is talking about three kinds of knowledge. That is action. Three kinds of knowledge, three kinds of action, and performer of action. Now let us see what it is. So basically, Krishna is saying, see, we discussed six earlier in the previous, right? There was Jnanam, Gneyam, Parignata, Karanam, Karma, Karta. Six things were there. But now Krishna, out of these six, he's choosing what? He's choosing Jnanam, Karma, and Karta. These three things he's choosing. Three he left out. Why? Because now Parignata means the knower. That Parignata, knower, he becomes the Karta. When he knows something, automatically after knowing, he will become the Karta. That's why that Parignata is left out here. He's simplifying now. These are the, broadly speaking, six things, but Krishna is narrowing it down to three things: Jnanam, Karma, and Karta. Okay, so Gneyam also is omitted here. Gneyam means the object. The object of knowledge is omitted because there are so many things. Because when you know about it, you will anyway become. Gneyam means it is automatically related to Jnanam. So you will have the Jnanam of the Gneyam. So Gneyam is also object of knowledge is omitted here. And Karma is there because Jnana and Karma are immediate connection to the Karta. See, Karta is there. I am the Karta. Karta is the doer, the soul, right? The immediate thing is what? Jnana and Karma. Jnana and Karma are closely connected to the doer, Karta. You are the Karta. Okay. So body is not so much uh, given importance as of now because you are not the body is outside of you, but jnana and karma are very integral aspects of karta. You may use the body, but body is not the immediate thing. Immediate thing is jnana and karma. That karma is coming because of desire. Okay, so this instrument, this body is outside of karta. That's why Krishna is not focusing here. Now, these Rajasic people and Tamasic people are not under the discussion here. We are only talking about what the quality of action, right? So, Rajasic and Tamasic, already we know that those people have different sorts of their own realizations and their own reactions to what they do. All those things we have discussed. Now, Rajasic and Tamasic people are not discussed here. The quality is discussed. The quality of action is discussed. So, now Krishna is going to first talk about the Sattvic Jnana. So, Jnana, Karma, and Karta. These three things are what Krishna is narrowing it down. So, first he wants to talk about Jnana. That is verse number 20. So, let us understand that verse number 20 now. Okay, so Dev, unmute yourself and let's understand what is that. Okay, let me change the slide. Verse number 20. सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्. One second. I think I need to add. Yes, go ahead, Dave.
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं
भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते.
भावम् अव्ययम् इक्षते
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
Yes, wonderful. Please read the translation.
The knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, one
Yes.
should understand to be in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now, let us come to the main aspect now. Okay, like I told you earlier, that this is a section where we are talking about the quality of karma, right? Now, Krishna is mentioning some very important thing, and that is he is saying here, Sarva Bhuteshu Enaikam Ekam Bhavam. Sarva Bhuteshu Ekam Bhavam. What is this now? Okay, let us understand. This is so important, okay? This is the nature of a sattvic person. Means it should be our nature. Our nature should be very sattvic. Why? Because a sattvic person sees ekam bhavam, which is avyayam, which is very important. Okay? It is ekam bhava means he sees everything or everybody. Sarva bhuteshu ekam bhavam. All the living entities for him are equal because he's not looking at the externals, he's looking at the internal thing. We also previously understood, right? Panditaha samadarshinaha, we say. So he's a very great panditaha because he has the equal vision. See, we all have these fleshy eyes, right? We have these eyes. Now, these fleshy eyes, they see different things. Now, eyes, with this material eyes that we have, when we look at people, it will show us different. Ah, this is Vinod ji, this is Ved, this is Lakshmi Mata ji, this is so and so, this is that. This fleshy eye is always different. Oh, this is rose, this is orchid, this is um, um, whatever it is. This is apple, this is pineapple. So many different things. It shows us different things. This is insect, this is animal, this is bird, this is fish. So these fleshy eyes are constantly showing us what? Different things, different varieties, etc. Right? They show us different things, but the Pandita or a Sattvic person, in all these different things, he sees not the varieties of bodies, but he looks or goes beyond the bodies, the externals, and sees that there is ekam bhavam. There is a consciousness which is equal in each of these living entities. Ekam bhavam is there. Sarva bhuteshu, right? He sees with the eyes of wisdom. He sees what is reality. And he sees that the reality is one. The reality is not different. These fleshy eyes are showing us what? Different realities. But the knowledge, the eyes of wisdom, they actually show you that everybody, in one sense, is one. One because we're all spiritual. But at a material level, what are these eyes seeing? This is ant, this is insect, this is cockroach, this is lizard. We are looking at all these different things. But are these different things reality? No. That means what we are seeing through our eyes, is this reality? No. It is not reality. Ekam bhavam is not there. Our eyes are not showing us ekam bhavam. We are constantly differentiating. And it is avyayam. Our knowledge or the eyes of knowledge or eyes of wisdom, they are showing us ekam bhavam, and they see that beyond that material body there is avyayam, there's an imperishable consciousness which is equal in each one of us. There is oneness in each one of us. We are all spiritual living entities. What an amazing thing it is. Just even think about it. Okay, we're all equal, we're all equal, we're all equal at a spiritual level. Now physical bodies are divided. It divides us. Oh, he's a man, she's a woman. I'm an Indian, I'm an American. So at a bodily level, we are all divided. But at a consciousness level, we are all united. So this consciousness is undivided thing. A spiritual consciousness is undivided thing. What I mean to say is spiritually, we are not different. Spiritually, we are all the same. Now, just imagine when you have this kind of feeling that each one of us is actually the same, then he sees God in everybody. He sees, oh, he's not different from me. Whatever I am, that person is also the same. So, when you have this kind of equal vision, that is the best vision because it's a unifying vision, right? And the byproduct of such unified vision is what? It is love. Because when you see everyone else as your own, of the same nature as you are, then the natural byproduct, outcome of this unified consciousness is what? You want to love. Because you love yourself. Oh, I love everybody loves, oneself. There is no doubt about it. Each one of us, we all love our own bodies, everything. That self-love is there. But when you see that when I love myself and the other person is also not different from me, then I will love him also. I am not loving others. A stranger comes to us. I don't love that person because he's totally different, right? The differentiated thing is there. That's why we don't love. This is not the best vision. So, a sattvic person, he sees everyone as oneself. And the natural expression of such a thing is he expresses love everywhere. Not just love, actually, even compassion. Just like he shows compassion to everybody, he forgives everybody. Because when you do some mistake, we all tend to forgive oneself. यार मैंने कुछ गलत कर दिया, छोड़ो, माफ कर देंगे अपने को इस बार. But other person does, we immediately point out, oh, you did that, you did this, so much. Why? Because there's a differentiated consciousness. But when you see that person is also the same like me, then you will not really do that. You will forgive that person also. It becomes very forgiveness, compassion, love. It becomes very natural and easy for a person who has this knowledge of uh, the Shastra. He has the vision of this Shastra. There is no question of hate because whom should he hate? There is no one to hate because, oh, that person is same as me. I will not hate. What kind of, if just imagine, what kind of knowledge is there in our schools today? Is it this kind of a knowledge, a unifying knowledge? No, this knowledge is not there. And because this knowledge is not there, we see so many different problems in the societies today. Why? Because the society is constantly thinking of a differentiated knowledge. It is a differentiated consciousness. There is a lack of true unifying knowledge. Physics and chemistry cannot solve the problems of the society. Please know that. Very important. They might be, physics, chemistry is important, but the problems of the society cannot be solved by physics and chemistry. The problems of the mind cannot be resolved by physics and chemistry. Because what is happening, our education is only talking about the differences, the difference in religion, difference in gender, difference in community, difference in country, right? And all these differences lead to what? It leads to only problem. Because when you look at different things, then there is a clash, there is a conflict that arises. So we should know why people are fighting today in the society. There are fights with respect to religion. My religion is great. My religion is great. Everybody is talking about it. Why? They differentiate because that differentiation is there. Then there are fights. Communal riots are happening everywhere. Just see how much problem. So many temples are broken and mosques are built. And today still they are fighting for those things. Why? Because my religion, my religion, my religion. So much of differences. The differences is what is creating the problem, right? Otherwise, we could have been so peaceful with this knowledge of unifying knowledge. Everybody would be so peaceful. And it's a place of worship. Why should I break? First of all, when we have built temples, the fellows who had come from outside, if they had this kind of knowledge, they wouldn't have broken. But no, they had that superior complexity. Same thing with the male and female gender also. Today, so much of problem with respect to gender inequality we talk about. Huh? Because of this gender inequality, there is so many big ruckus that is happening in the internet and everywhere else. This is where the problem comes, even in the family level, when we try to differentiate the genders based on, of course, we have to differentiate at the bodily level, but then when you don't have this vision, the spiritual knowledge, then it becomes very petty, right? Then the same thing with the communities, the country. My country, India is winning. Bangladesh is not winning. We are right. As Indians, we are right. My country is great. My listing is great. We so strong identification is there. Because of that strong identification, I have a problem. So all these differences in the society that we see is because of people lack this unifying knowledge. Just see a sattvic person is out of all this. We know who are fighting actually? The Rajasic people and Tamasic people. They are the ones who are really fighting. The sattvic person is not interested in all this. He is beyond, very much beyond. So this is what Krishna is saying here. Krishna is interestingly saying, Sarva Bhuteshu Enekam. So Ekam Bhavam is not there. Avyayam. It is amazing, imperishable knowledge. Ikshate. He sees ikshate means to see. To see sarva bhuteshu ekabhavam. With ekabhavam. Avivaktam vivakteshu tajnanam vidhi satvikam. So this is a sattvic knowledge, sattvic jnana. Very important. Okay. So Divik is there, right? Huh? Divik, unmute yourself. Let's go to the next verse. Verse number 21. Now let us go to the next. Rajasic Jnanam. Pratatvena tu yajnanam
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं
nana bhavan pratagvidhan
नानाभावान् पृथक्विदान्
vetti sarveshu bhuteshu
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
tajnanam vidhi rajasam.
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity you should understand to be in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So this is another interesting thing now. Pratak, pratak. Pratak means differentiating. Okay, different. Pratak means different. Prataktvena tu yajnanam nana bhavan pratak vidhan. So a person who sees different things, different bodies. That means he sees that I am in this body, I have one type of soul. A person in another body is having another type of soul. A tiger has another type of soul. An elephant has another type of soul. So he sees everything as different. Another type of soul. See, our philosophy, the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is what? There is Achinta Bheda Abheda Tattva. Please understand. Abheda Bheda Tattva. So there is Bheda and there is Abheda also. Simultaneously one and simultaneously different. How is this possible, Prabhuji? Yes. We are qualitatively one. Qualitatively, we are all spiritual. We are all spirit soul. Qualitatively, we are all one. But at an external level, we all appear to be different. So this is something we have to understand. Achinta Bheda Bheda means what? We should know that by nature, we are all one. We are spirit souls. But because of our karma is different, we have different bodies. So this is why we clearly Prabhupada also in the previous verse he says that the previous thing is sattvic are true, but at the impersonal level, everything is all equal consciousness. Okay. Now I'm not going much deep into that personal and impersonal aspect. I'm just talking about how sattvic, sattvic jnana and rajasic jnana. Sattvic jnana means he has a unified vision and knowledge that helps him to see everything as one. There is no difference. But whereas a person who is rajasic, prataktvena tu yajnanam, nana bhavan pratak vidan. Earlier, what bhava it was? It is ekam bhavam was there. Here, what happens? Nana bhava. Nana bhava means different bhava for different people. That is ekam bhava for sarva bhuteshu. Here, nana bhava for prataktvena tu yajnanam. For everybody different, right? So a Rajasic person does not have a unified vision. Now, this is another big problem. So, seeing different characteristics in every being. So, he doesn't see singularity, he sees plurality. Now, when there is plurality, seeing differences causes problem. This is very natural, like I gave you other examples, of communal riots and, at nationality, gender level. Problems are there when we see different things. Because this is what the eyes is showing us. The Rajasic person, he has eyes which shows him all different things. This concept of material body, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, is uh, body is the living entity and that which the destruction of the body and the consciousness is also destroyed. So these Rajasic people want to think the body is there, life is there. Body is destroyed, life is destroyed, gone. This is a passionate person thinks. This is how it is. So, so according to that, what happens? Bodies differ from one to another in different development stages of their consciousness. Otherwise, there is no separate soul which manifests consciousness. So differently, there is different body that comes up. Otherwise, there is no separate soul for each one of these bodies. Is what they are Rajasic people. Basically, Darwin's theory. You can say people who are too scientific, no, they don't accept this. They are very Rajasic in nature. For them, the body itself is soul. Different body, different person, different soul. That is how they say. There is differentiation like that. So, according to such knowledge, Prabhupada is saying consciousness is temporary. As long as the body is there, the consciousness is there. Or else there is no individual soul, but there is an all pervading soul which is full of knowledge, and this body is manifestation of temporary ignorance. So, there is one supreme consciousness. This body is only the outcome of temporary ignorance. I am ignorant right now, that's why this body is there. But if I become very knowledgeable, then the body will go. That is their understanding. Beyond this body, there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered the products of the mode of passion. So they see everything very differently. The whole crux of this verse is what? Rajasic knowledge is what? I will see everything as different. I am different, everything is different. They don't see as anything as same. That's a problem also. Because when you see everything is to be different, then you cannot love, no? Love, expression of love can come only when there is feeling of oneness. When there are two categories, I and you. I am separate, you are separate. When you have this kind of a concept, then there's a problem. Right? This nation belongs to me, that nation belongs to you. Then there is a problem. I support this nation, you support that nation. I am a male, you are a female. There's a problem. So one is I and you. Another concept is me and mine. I am there and this is all belong to me, mine. Ahankara, mamakara. So, what I am the best, whatever I have is best, everything else is useless. This is the concept basically. I am the best, I have everything that what is there with me is the best. Everything else in the world, what others possess, is all the useless. This concept is. This is Rajasic mind. So, do you think such a person will be peaceful? No. Because constantly he's comparing, his mind will be disturbed. A disturbed person, what will he share in the society? Only the disturbance. In the society, such a person will only disturb. And people you see in the newspaper, it is filled with all these kind of events only. All those people with Rajasic knowledge, they make it to the news lines, news headlines. Oh, this person did that, this person did this. All these differences, clashes, everything you see in the newspaper is only because of the Rajasic knowledge. Real jnana will keep your mind peaceful. Mind will not be disturbed if you are sattvic. Sattvic means real knowledge. Rajasic jnana, you cannot evolve properly because you're disturbed. A disturbed mind cannot help you evolve spiritually. Not possible. So see how much acquiring knowledge also. Many people think okay, knowledge itself is great, but what kind of knowledge also is so important? Krishna is that's why specifically saying there is sattvic jnana, rajasic jnana. Then he's going to talk about tamasic jnana also. See how much people only say that oh, knowledge is great. Knowledge has to be given to everyone. Not all knowledge will solve the problems of life. That's why Krishna is differentiating between knowledge also. Okay. Okay. Yes, Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's go back to the next verse, 22nd verse. Yeah, the next verse is 22nd. Yat tu kasmin. Okay, it looks like this. Okay,
Prabhuji,
you
whom
can.
are we told to recite?
Yeah, you can recite Mataji. Yat
Okay.
Krishna kasmin.
Yattu Krishnavadekashmin
कार्ये सक्तम अहेतुकम्
कार्ये तं अहेतुकम्
तत्त्वार्थवद् अल्पं च
अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च
तत्तामसम् उदारतम्.
तत्तामसम् उदारतम्.
Yes, wonderful. Please read the translation.
And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Now Krishna is talking about the knowledge in tamasic mode. Okay. And in this tamasic mode, what is happening? One is very attached to the kind of work. Let us see now what it is. Very unique this is. Huh? This tamasic person, he sees that one thing and he takes that one thing to be everything. This is sometimes very dangerous. See, one who does not develop knowledge through proper authority, scriptural injunctions, has knowledge, but that is limited to the body. Many people, like, we go to schools, colleges, they are all teaching you knowledge, but that knowledge is actually only limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in terms of directions of scriptures, not at all. For him, God is money and knowledge is the means to satisfy the bodily demands. That is how he thinks. God means, okay, God, give me money. Knowledge, whatever I have, okay, I'll fulfill my desires. That is how it is. So, such knowledge has no connection with the absolute truth. Absolutely no. That is tamasic. It is more or less like knowledge for ordinary animals. Ordinary animals eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These are the four things: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. People in tamasic also, they have knowledge, but their knowledge is limited to what? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is the tamasic knowledge. Nothing more than whatever knowledge animals have, same knowledge he will have. Knowledge is what? His knowledge is only driven to eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is what is happening to this guy. The one best example means he sees nothing. This fellow, he sees one thing and he becomes mad after that. Rest everything in the world is zero for him. He thinks that this is the right thing and I will do only that. Nothing else really matters to me in my life. This is the most important thing. He ignores every good other thing. All other good things are nothing for him. He thinks that there is something that is good for him, and that's it. He will not change anything, not even a bud. The best example, these lovers, when there are two lovers, no? This one person, is so attached. This fellow is, that's why he's telling Saktam. Saktam means what? He is totally attached to one person. Okay? He will think that you are everything, all in all. Krishnavat. He says, oh, dear lady, you are Krishnavat. Krishnavat means you are all in all. You are an apple of my eye. You are my heart. You are my soul. You've seen those movies. They talk like that only. Lovers. Oh, you are all in all. Aap meri zindagi ho, this and that and what not dialogues there. You are my Krishnavat, all in all. Then what happens? Not is that Ekasmin, you are the only one in my life. Nothing else really matters to me. You, my dear, you are all in my life. No, nobody else will take the importance as much as you in my life. Ekasmin. You are Krishnavat, you are Ekasmin, and then this fellow is Saktam. Very attached to this person. Very, very attached. So attached that his intellect is paralyzed. His intelligence is totally paralyzed. He cannot think beyond this person. So much attached. This girl is Ekasmin for him. This girl is Saktam, fully attached to that girl. This is illogical attachment. He is attached to something or somebody. He is totally illogical. Very dangerous. Hmm? There are so many things in this world, but he gives up everything for this one person. That's why it is illogical. Although some good things are there, see, loving is not wrong, but A person with tamasic knowledge, he gets so obsessed with one person, then he gets so attached to that person that so many good things are there in this world, he will become blinded to all these good things in the world. Right? So this is his nature. He gives up everything good for this one, not even reality. That's why it is called what? Atatva arthavat. Without knowledge of reality, it is not even truth. It is, it's simply showing attachment. But deep within, he doesn't know that fellow. It's not truth. It's going to change. This truth is not going to be eternally there. Time will automatically change these situations. That's why it is called alpam. Alpam, very meager it is. For a petty thing is attached to it. Some people will say, wow, very at the very first sight, I fell in love with that girl. Why? Because I saw her nose, parrot like nose. I saw her eyes, you know. People crazy what dialogues they say. For a petty thing like a nose or eyes or a ear or a hair, they get attached to one person. Alpam, that's what Krishna is saying. Alpam, meager, they get attached and they fall in love. It is tamasic jnana. Totally mad fellow or mad woman. Danger it is. Hmm? So, this thing we should be careful. People are sometimes blinded by emotions, and because of that, there is no clear thinking. So, what do you think is these people? A part is misunderstood to be the whole. For them, the small one part of his whole family, that one person in the whole family, one person in his whole life, becomes so important that he forgets his whole society. He's focuses on the Vesti so much that he forgets the Samashti. So it's like the blind people touching different blind people touching the different parts of the elephant. Somebody touched the tail of elephant, thought, oh, elephant means it's a snake. Somebody touched the ear of the elephant, they said, oh, elephant means it's like a fan. So similarly, somebody touched the stomach of the elephant, they said, oh, elephant means wall. All are blind people. They don't have knowledge only. They are having their own knowledge out of some stupid experiences they have through their body and the senses. They think that this is knowledge. And so much they have that confidence, in knowledge. I know this is right. That's it. Nothing else. This is Tamasic Paro. Such people you call to satsang and all, they will never come. Because already he is preconceiving whatever he knows is best. If you go to satsang, what that fellow, that Swamiji or Prabhuji will tell me? No point. He cannot teach me anything. I already know many things. More than the Swamiji I know. That Swamiji cannot teach me anything. This is the nature. So this, see, two people are very clear, okay? The Sattvic person is very clear. Tamasic person also very clear. Sattvic person is very clear with knowledge. He knows exactly what I'm supposed to do. This tamasic person also is very, very clear, but is clear because of his attachment, because so much attached to that one person or one thing. He's very clear that this is the only thing in my life. He's like a frog in a well, this fellow. Basically, this tamasic fellow, this tamasic jnana, is such that it makes you a frog in a well. This well is everything. He doesn't even think that there's a big ocean outside. So we should not become this frog in a well. Please understand. And now you may be thinking, that fellow in my life, that auntie which is there in that apartment, she is actually this tamasic jnana person. She has this tamasic jnana. Or you may be, that office guy, this college, one of my friend, he's having tamasic jnana. We may be seeing such people. The reality is, these three gunas are there in all of us. We are a mixture of all these three. Sometimes sattva guna, sometimes rajoguna, sometimes tamoguna. We are like that. Sometimes we are so clear with knowledge. Sometimes, we are so clear with attachment for a certain thing. And some people, they don't care. Rajasic people don't care at all. Very dangerous, right? So, we should understand all this. We should always keep our knowledge under check. We should constantly keep checking and revising and updating our knowledge. Just like we update our software or anything in the mobile phones, we should also keep updating our knowledge. That is required. We should not simply get stuck with tamasic or rajasic or no. We should upgrade to the next level. Otherwise, then there's a problem, right? People do a lot of partiality. Partiality means what? Partiality means I differentiate between my son and that auntie's son. Partiality. I'll give only nice things to this fellow and not nice things to that fellow. Partiality we do. What is this? Partiality is what? Partiality is coming because of Rajoguna. What is the Rajoguna? Rajoguna means differentiate. Pratak, right? This pratak coming where? Because of Rajoguna. This fellow is nice, I'll do partiality. Anybody is doing partiality, you understand? This fellow is Rajoguni, Rajasic nature. See how practical it is. If you try to understand these three gunas, no, Sattva, Raja, Tamas, you will understand yourself much better. So that's why Krishna is nicely dissecting this whole thing so that we understand better. Okay. So let's go to the next verse, 23rd, 24. Now Krishna has spoken about what? Sattvic Jnana, Rajasic Jnana, Tamasic Jnana. Clear, all of you? So this is, hope it gives you good clarity now about how Jnana itself is different. Okay. Lakshmi Mataji, Prabhu, I also have seen people who attend so many Upanyasas, once done back to square one, filthy language, or sit and keep cursing others. Many people have this kind of knowledge. That knowledge is, they go to Upanyasas. That is what is only called as social bhakti. Social bhakti means what? Social bhakti means it's another get together for them. They go, they simply listen to something, but really doesn't enter. Why it doesn't enter is because they're not sattvic in nature. See, when you're not sattvic in nature, good knowledge will not come. If you're rajasic and tamasic, rajasic person is sitting in a upanyasa, what he will be doing? He's a different person. He is giving different knowledge. I have a different person. I'll have different knowledge. My experiences are different. He's given the seat today to speak. He's sharing his experiences. Tomorrow, if I give a lecture sitting on that same thing, I'll give my experiences. So this is a Rajasic fellow, very cynical fellow. He will not understand what that other person is trying to say. No, Rajasic person thinks he's a different fellow. I am a different fellow. Tomorrow, when I go and sit there, I'll give my knowledge and experiences. This is Rajasic. Tamasic person, he will not even bother. He will not even, enter this. Even if he enters, his whole thing will be, he'll be close-minded. When somebody is close-minded, then there is no question of gaining knowledge. There is a very beautiful painting. There was a very beautiful painting of Jesus Christ with a lamp. And Jesus Christ with the lamp is knocking a door. And thousands of people, they are so excited and they come and appreciate this painting. Oh, amazing. They're all coming, flocking together to look at this beautiful painting of Jesus Christ. Everybody's appreciating, and there is one person who comes. And that person comes and goes to the painter and says, you know what? There is one mistake in this painting. What is that mistake in the painting? He says, you have actually forgotten to make a handle for the door. The painter looks at this guy and says, the handle is not outside, the handle is inside. What does it mean? So when Jesus Christ comes with the lantern, with the lamp, and is knocking at a door, it is your responsibility to open the door from inside. Please understand, many times people may go to Upanyasas, but what is happening is, although there is a person holding a torch of light, knocking at your door of mind, it is your duty to open your mind from inside because the handle is inside. Nobody can open it for you. You are sitting in a dark room and complaining there is darkness. Arey Baba, there is so much of sunlight outside. You go and open the windows. The sunlight will not open the windows for you. You have to go out and open the windows. Then the light will come. So these tamasic people are like this. They are closed. They cannot think beyond. So this is a problem. So when such people are there, they may go to upanyasas and everything. It cannot make any impact on their heart. At least the knowledge will not make an impact. But there is one thing that can make an impact into their heart, and that is prasadam. That's why Prabhupada was very intelligent. because he knew when people will come to him, there'll be sattvic fellow, rajasic fellow, tamasic fellow. But there is prasadam, which everybody likes. Knowledge is something that not everybody likes. They may accept, they may not accept knowledge. But at least when they take prasadam, that prasadam has an effect. And that purifies them. And with the purity of prasadam, slowly they will, maybe I should go and open the handle with the door with the handle. Maybe it will help me. That is how it happens. Most of the people, when they come to ISKCON temple, what happens? When they eat prasadam, only then they think of opening the door. Until then, it will not open. So this is a very important aspect. If you really want to actually open up, people may go to Upanyasas, but they will not open their mind. So in order to open the mind, there is an extra effort that is required. Give them nice prasadam, feed them gulab jamun, rasgulla, nicely feed them prasadam. Then once in a point of time, they may think, let me listen to this fellow. This Swamiji is saying something. Hopefully this will be helpful in my life. Then it will strike him. Until then, they will not. The next question what Mataji is saying is, what is that? Where is Sattvic in the above mentioned person, Prabhu? So, see, this person going to a Sattvic Upanyasa, okay, that is the only Sattvic thing. What is happening, Sattvic? Satsanga is there. So, because he is going to a Satsanga, that effect of Satsanga may help this person to move from Tamasic to Rajasic and Rajasic to Sattvic. Now, depending on the intensity of Tamoguna in this person, it may happen in one meeting, it can happen in 10 meetings, it can happen in the next lifetime. We do not know. But one good thing in this situation is this person is at least going to Satsanga and listening something good and actually having some prasada. See what happens, there is a nice thing that actually I'll just recall. I'll tell you a nice story, okay? There was how listening is so important. I'm just trying to, you're asking now, where is the Sattvic in above mentioned Prabhu, right? This is your question. Now, there was this one guy in a village. He used to go to the temple. And when he goes to the temple, in the evening, there is nice bhajan, satsang, everything used to happen. And there is a speaker who is giving pravachan. So this fellow will come to the temple. He will sit in the upanyasa and he will sleep. And then when the upanyasa is over, this fellow will wake up and then he'll go. So every day evening, this person will come, sit in the upanyasa, and the speaker is speaking, and he will sleep during the pravachan, and then after the pravachan, he walks away. So this person, the speaker, he was looking at this fellow every day. So when this person used to enter, when he entered, the speaker used to say, "Aa gaya kya? Oh, you came, huh? Aa gaya kya?" Then he used to sit. Bed gaya kya? Okay, now you're sitting, is it? And then sleeping. Of course, he would not say the speaker because he slept, he will not hear. Then while going, the speaker would say, "Oh, ja raha hai kya? You're going now." So, aa gaya kya? Bed gaya kya? Ja raha hai kya? So when this fellow every day used to come, he used to listen these three words only from the speaker. What are the three things that he heard? Aa gaya kya? Bed gaya kya? Ja raha hai kya? So this fellow who used to come and attend the session, he went night, he was sleeping. While sleeping in the night, on the bed, there was a thief who entered from the window. And this fellow is in deep sleep, but in the deep sleep, he started talking. When this thief entered the window, this fellow in deep sleep only said, "Aa gaya kya?" This thief is like, fellow, here this fellow is not sleeping. So immediately he jumped inside and he hid somewhere between some table or something. Oh, bed gaya kya? This fellow is in the sleep only. Bed gaya kya? Now this thief was confirmed. This fellow is not sleeping. He is actually awake. He may actually hit me and he may catch me. So he again went back to the window, about to jump out now. And while jumping out, this fellow said, "Ja raha hai kya?" This fellow jumped out. He was so sure that this fellow is not sleeping. He never again came back to that house. The point here is, this fellow in sleep Also, he was only repeating the three things that he heard in the pravachan. आ गया क्या, बैठ गया क्या, जा रहा है क्या. And thief was sent away just by three words. The point is, when you go to Upanyasa, when you go and listen to some nice thing, there is always an impact. It will always help you. There is some benefit at some point of time. How it will come to your use, you don't know. That is why there is so much of transformation when you come and listen to a pravachan. Something will go into head. This is the advantage. Okay. So I hope that clarifies certain things, right? Okay. Thank you. So let us go to the next thing. 23rd. Okay. So 23rd verse. Now Krishna, okay, let me check the time. 5, 6. Okay, we will finish these three verses quickly. Okay. There is a straightforward thing. So Vinodji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse. Let me add Divik also. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Vinodji, you can unmute yourself. नियतं सङ्गरहितं okay, looks like, hope my audio is working. Dave, you're there? Dave, you can unmute yourself. Let me check one second.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Niyatam sangarahitam
नियतं सङ्गरहितं
araga dveshatah kritam
अरागद्वेषतः कृतं
afala prepsuna karma
अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्मा
yatat satvikam muchyate.
यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results is said to be in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Correct. It's a very clear, straightforward thing that which we have previously also discussed, right? Is that niyatam sangarahitam. Sangha means attachment, and attachment when we sangarahitam, attachment and besha both. It is besha is also another sort of attachment. So positive attachment or negative attachment, it is free from attachment basically. Aragat dvesha kritam, dveshatah kritam. So afala prepsuna karma. So there is no desire for uh, any phala here. There is something completely you're detached, basically, right? So this is how you work. Karma that is performed, a sattvic fellow, he will not ask for any result. So some people know they are attached to public speaking. And public speaking means when they get a mic and then have the audience, they just go on and on and on. So much they speak. Unless somebody goes and gives them a chit, okay, sir, please stop now. It is more, your time is over. They'll not stop only, they'll go on speaking. They're so attached to their speaking. They want to speak. This kind of attachment is there. That is, you are speaking. Speaking is a karma, is an action. But you are so attached to that action that you are taking away everybody else's time. So that is not good. Okay. So a person in sattvic mode is not attached like that. So because when you are attached too much, it takes our attention away from Krishna. That's why we should not be attached. Too much attachment to our action sometimes, it may actually distract you from your attention to Krishna. So attachment is natural when we meet people for even 1 day or 2 day, 3 day. 1 day, nothing much happens. 2 day, you meet them, there is some sort of connection happening. Third, if you meet 3 days, same person, then third day you will have some attachment to that person. So that's why when we have any meetings, gatherings, we should always come back and meditate. We should chant nicely because that chanting will really help us. During meditation, it helps us to get detached. Constantly, we should meditate. Otherwise, every day we are getting attached to so many people. Very important. We should not get attached to anybody and everybody. Only right people should be allowed to come close to us. Otherwise, very difficult. Okay. Otherwise, they'll stick to you. And such people, when they come and stick to you, That stickiness doesn't go away. That's why chanting every day will help us to get rid of the stickiness of attachment. Please chant every day. You just see yourself, your own life. 5 years ago, how was it? 5 years ago, so much of attachment was there. 5 years before listening to Bhagavad Gita, you had so many attachments, going to the movies, watching movies, or vegetarian, non-vegetarian food. Lot of different things were there in your heart earlier, but lot of things are gone now. You are no more attached to so many things that you were attached earlier. So this is a self-analysis that you can do. That is definitely a great progress in yourself. All that stickiness which was there has gone. So much of stickiness in your life has gone already. Actually, you should just pat yourself and say, yes, I have improved so much. Isn't it? That's a great thing. What a great leap of improvement that you have taken just in this last 4 or 5 years of Bhagavad Gita study circle, isn't it? It's a constant thing. When you constantly do it, that progress you can see. So, also when you become very sattvic, you can easily detect imperfections in your own karma. And detecting imperfection in yourself is better, not imperfection in others, okay? It is better we detect our imperfections at a very early stage. It's very important. Only when we perform action properly, then we will be able to see our perfect imperfections that will surface out. See, many people, what happens? They don't do action. Karma nahi karna hai. See, if you don't do karma, all the lower natures that we have, lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, that will never come out. See, only when you get onto the field of practicing sadhana, that is when all the lower natures will come out. So please understand, you cannot sit quiet. You have to perform action, because all the lower natures has to surface out. Only when they surface out, then you will know, so much of burden I'm carrying, so much of head weight is there, heart weight is there. That will all surface out automatically. You will get to know. Sitting in isolation will not help. You have to perform action, right? This is why it is sattvic. Sattvic means you have to perform karma. You have to perform action. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Who will chant now? Divik, you please unmute yourself. And let's, Divik is there? Yeah, he's there. Let's chant the next verse. 25th verse, okay? No, 24th verse. You ready, Divik?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yattu kamepsuna karma
Yattu kamepsuna karma
sahankarena va punaha
sahankarena va punaha
kriyate bahulayasam
kriyate bahulayasam
tadrajasam mudaratam.
tadrajasamudahrutam.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very clear, straightforward. Action, karma performed with lot of effort. Okay, so much. Burj Khalifa I want to build. Okay, I want to build an elevator which goes, in the atmosphere, outer atmosphere. They want to go to space using an elevator, just like Ravana wanted to build a staircase from Bhuloka to heaven, to Indraloka. Great effort. Why? Because seeking gratification. I want to gratify the desire. I want to build a staircase from Bhuloka to Swargaloka. That was the desire of Ravana, right? And enacted with a sense of what? False ego. Ravana was full of false ego. I want to go there. So, such action is called in the mode of passion. Action he wants to perform, but mode of action. It is said that Ravana used to transport gold from Brazil underground. Some tunnels were there, and from there underground through ocean pathways, he used to bring it to Lanka, and then he made Swarna Nagari, Lanka. So what it is great effort, no? So much of great effort is there in making Swarna Lanka. Ravana put all his effort from bringing gold from Brazil. From Brazil, he bought gold to Sri Lanka using the oceanic waves. ocean pathways, and then he built a Swarnalanka. Why? Because so much of false ego is there. He wants to fulfill his desire. This is what is said here in this verse. So powerful Ravana was. And today, people with this Ravana mentality are there. Not less. Many, many people are there. They want to build big, 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 big things, but they want to satisfy their desires. But whereas temple devotees also, they are also building big, 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 big temples, not to satisfy their desires, but to satisfy the desire of the Guru and Krishna. That is their motive. So there is a difference. Okay. Let us go to the last verse for today. Very interesting, 25th. Okay, so who else is there? Yes, if Vinodji is there, you can come back, and Vinodji, you can chant the next verse, the last verse today, 25th verse. Anubandham kshayam himsam. Okay, if not, Hina Mataji can chant. Dev, you are there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anubandham kshayam himsam.
Anubandham kshayam himsam.
Upeksha cha paurusham.
Anupeksha cha paurusham.
Mo- Mohat arabhyate karma.
Mohad arabhyate karma.
Yattat tamasamuchyate.
नेटवर्क बहुत प्रॉब्लम है अंदर.
Yattat tamasam uchyate.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
So the action performed in illusion in disregard of scriptural injunctions and without
Looks like
concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
yes. So this is again a very straightforward thing. That action performed in illusion, in disregard to scriptural injunction, and without concern for future bondage. So let us understand a little bit. Okay. See, there are many ignorant people, and out of no guidance from the scriptures, they simply perform whatever comes to their mind. So I know it, I will do it. That's it. Very clear. I know how to do it. Okay, you don't tell me. You don't have to tell me anything. This tamasic. Tamasic nature, people are like that. They don't want to listen to anything or anybody, not even the scriptures, nothing. There is no thinking involved, and there is no thinking involved. There is be absolutely no knowledge. There is no proper realized knowledge. There is no experiential knowledge. Because they lack experiential knowledge, because there is no thinking involved, they simply perform action. They will not know even the consequences. Okay, if I do this, what will happen to me? People who go to gambling, they have so much of false ideas. They go there, but what is happening? They don't know the future consequences. They go to casinos and all of these things, and then future consequences, they're least bothered about it. Then people fall sick. They totally become uh, bankrupt because of going to the gambling matches. They have no idea about the future consequences. Similarly, with all the other things also, people overeating a lot of meat. There was a film actor in UK who was promoting so much of meat eating in 1980s. 1983, he started promoting an advertisement for meat eating. Oh, you eat meat, non-vegetarian food, you get protein and this and that. And that fellow in 1988, the same person who promoted eating meat so much, was suffering from cardiovascular diseases. Same person. And he said that this is all caused because of meat eating. Because he had no idea of the future consequences. Similarly, people get involved with all these illicit relationships. They don't know what future a lot of problems will come. So many different diseases will come. ISDs, right? People suffer because they don't know what's the future consequences. And they suffer so much. So these are all very dangerous things. And not just that, they don't even think that, oh, I'm a botheration to other people, I may hurt somebody, I may actually humiliate somebody. They are least bothered what others feel. They just do any action, and they will say something or do something to hurt others. So that is wrong. Very, very hurtful actions they perform. So basically, these are very careless people. Tamasic people are very careless people. This is what we should know. Okay. So today we have understood jnana, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, and actions also sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Now in the future we'll understand more. Any questions so far? Anything that you want to ask? Anybody on YouTube also, or anybody on any questions? Please feel free to ask.
Prabhuji, sorry, I have had
Yes,
some internet issues. So I
yes,
wanted
no
to
problem.
ask now. You said ki yeah. I wanted to ask. You said you have to, everybody is the same soul, and we have to treat everybody equally. So what happens when somebody, the same like example earlier also had said, Bangladesh they broke that ISKCON temple. So should we love those people also?
Yeah, interesting, no?
Yeah.
Good trigger. I know you are a fighter for our culture and Sanatan Dharma. Vinodji always has a lot of passion for this.
So
So
little
that is,
confused.
no, that is, we'll clarify. It is good question actually. Very interesting. See what happens when we are sattvic, okay? First thing is we should have a knowledge. They might be Bangladeshis, they might be Pakistanis or anybody. At a spiritual level, first thing we should know is that spiritually speaking, there is no difference. I should know at least. They may not know. Forget about that. But I should know that spiritually, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. Spiritually, there is no difference. He is also spirit soul. I am also spirit soul. He is in a different condition. Time, place, circumstances is different. He is in Bangladesh or he is in different place, right? Okay, he's in Bangladesh right now. He's from a different community, different religion. And because that fellow is Rajasic and Tamasic, Rajasic in nature, Rajasic people, what do they think? Everything is different, different, different. Pratak, 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 pratak. Because he's Rajasic, he thinks that everything is different. But you are Sattvic, you are thinking that everybody is same. Okay. Now we are talking only about knowledge. From the knowledge perspective, that a sattvic person is seeing everybody as ekam bhavam sarvabhuteshu. Everybody is same. From the knowledge perspective. The Rajasic fellow is saying no ekam bhavam, nana bhavam is there. Nana pratak pratak bhava is there. That's why the problem is there. That's why he's causing problem to India and breaking the ISKCON temples also. Right? Because my mosque is greater, ISKCON temple is bad. That is his pratak bhava. Now what do we do? Now this is the knowledge aspect. But now, when knowledge is there, then there is next level. What is that? Duty. When it comes to duty, because this sattvic person, he is so self-realized and not identifying himself with mind body, right? What did the verse number 17 say? Verse number 17 said, let us go to that. Verse number 17, I think I can display that. Verse number 17 very clearly said, look at this, look at this. This will answer your thing. One who is not motivated by false ego. That means when we are not motivated by false ego, I'm not identifying with my body mind, Indian nationality, Bangladesh nationality, no, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in the world, does not kill, nor is bound by his actions. So, what is happening? First of all, you are disidentifying yourself with the body. And when with that knowledge, when you're disidentified, then there's next question of duty. Duty is I want to protect my Sanatan Dharma. Now with that attitude, with that consciousness of detachment, when you go and kill those miscreants in Bangladesh, the most important thing is you will not be bound. Krishna is saying, you kill those people, you will not get the reaction. I'll take care of it because you are detached. So, for us as sadhakas, what we are supposed to do is let us do things as a matter of duty. When we have to protect our Sanatan Dharma, when we are supposed to protect our uh, temples, we have to do as a matter of duty, we will protect it, but not with dvesha. I am doing it as a matter of service to the Lord. And in that service of the Lord, I may even lose my life. But I am in knowledge because See, that's the greatness of our Sanatan Dharma. See, we will protect our temples, but we will not go and break the mosques. No, our nature is not like that, but we will protect. Self defense is there. And if needed, those miscreants we have to be punished. We will give punishment also. Samadama danda bheda. That will happen and that should be there. But it should not be with hate. We are not doing, either we are protecting the temple or we are going and destroying that miscreant out of hate. We are doing it as a duty. That is the only moment you hate those Bangladeshis from within with anger and all those things, then that's a problem. Then you will have to suffer your uh, reactions because you're doing it as a out of hate and attachment, raga and dvesha. That when we do, then that is causing disturbance in your mind. But when you are totally detached, and when you go and kill those person also, you go and bang those people, finish those people, you will not be disturbed. And when you are not disturbed, you are free from all these anxieties. You are doing it as a duty. That will become a greater service that time. It will be a great service because one thing is you protected the Sanatan Dharma, the temple. At the same time, you are free from your actions, the reactions basically. This is greatness. So working with knowledge out of duty and not hatred. So we should not have any hatred because I cannot have hatred to that fellow because he is ultimately part and parcel of Krishna. If I'm hating that Bangladeshi or a Pakistani, then it's not right. I should not hate that person. But when action has to be taken, I will perform. I will do action. I'll take the right action, but with detachment from my ego, false ego. Correct? I will kill the Bangladeshi, but I'll kill him in such a way that I will think myself as a soul, not as an Indian. When you do that, when you come to this level of consciousness that I will kill him as a soul, as a servant of Krishna, but I will not kill him because I'm an Indian. When this kind of consciousness comes into you, then you can definitely go and we can uh, kill those people, take action against them, basically. Kill is a very extreme word. Take action against them. Yes, I'm sure there might be some more clarifications required. If there's anything, please ask. Any follow up thing.
So the bhava is important, right? Yeah.
Yes, bhava, the basic detachment, otherwise you are going to be bound and it's a total waste. Now, because see, the feeling that emotion is good. The emotion is good because it's coming out of, yes, I want to protect my temple. I want to protect my Sanatan Dharma. Good. It's a very good bhava. But that good bhava is coming because of what? It is coming out of my attachment to being as an Indian or as a servant of Krishna. This is very important. Because ultimately you are Indian today in this lifetime. You might be an American or somebody else. You might be a Bangladeshi in the previous life. Can't say. So many things can happen. Our nationality has been constantly changing every life. So that is why we are not superficially we cannot act. And Krishna himself is saying now, you see, the whole Mahayuddha is happening here. Why? Krishna himself is telling go and kill because they are adharmic people. Finish off those adharmic people. But you kill those people, fight against them, but with knowledge and detachment. When you do that way, then Arjuna, you are freed, right? So your fighting also will become a glorious service, like Arjuna's. Arjuna killed the people, and that became the greatest service, and he pleased Krishna. So this is the subtle thing. If we act on our own whims out of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, Krishna will not be pleased. It will bind us. Krishna is not pleased because we are getting bound. He wants ultimately us to be freed from the bondage. So Krishna, he is interested in you. He is interested whether, okay, that fellow, he did whatever to the temple, but what is happening to you? As a devotee, I wanted you to come closer to me. But if because of something happening there, you are going away from me, then Krishna will not be happy with that. Right? You are getting the point? The bigger picture of what is
Yes,
this whole,
Prabhuji.
right?
Yes.
So this whimsically we cannot fight. There are some people at the border level, those at the immediate action, whatever people have to do, they are taking care. Um at the national level, the army, they're protecting, they're fighting, and there are nice some strategical things happening at the Bangladesh and other Myanmar side also. We are getting to know now. So a lot of things are happening. So intelligently, our government is also trying to suppress those Bangladeshis in a very nice. They are in a big soup now. Actually, Bangladesh people are in a big soup. They are in a trouble in the coming future. They are so foolish. That's why I'm telling you now. They perform some action without knowing the future consequences. Now you're seeing how the consequences are affecting them because they attacked the temple, because they are attacking. What's happening? The consequences, even those Bangladeshis who have illegally come into India, now they are one by one being caught and they are being throwing slowly, they are being thrown out. They're being slowly asked now to go out of India, right? So the consequences, you see, any action unintelligently done, there will be consequences. So they will definitely face the consequences. If Myanmar in some way or the other joins us, then Bangladesh is in a big problem. So we have to act intelligently. So that is happening already. That's a good thing. Yeah. Any other question? Okay. So good. So we have taken a little longer session today. We had, okay, Divik is asking something. Prabhuji, what if we think that we are both Indian and soul, then kill the person? Do we become greatest service to Krishna? So he's like, I'll think as an Indian also, I'll think as a soul also, then I will kill that person. Actually, when you think yourself as a soul, you will not identify yourself as an Indian. The two don't go to with each other nicely. So you may think yourself as a soul and an Indian, but when you're killing, somebody, then you think yourself as a soul only. But if you kill thinking that you're an Indian, then you'll be bound. But you're killing by thinking that you're a soul, then probably it will free you. Okay. So be careful while killing someone. Don't think that you're an Indian. Otherwise, you'll be bound. Okay. Hope you got the point. Good. Very interesting. So we had a little longer session today, and we will have little more. I'm always saying this, but maybe this week definitely we will have some 2 or 3 sessions. I'm trying to organize because there are some guests I could not organize. But this week we'll try to have little more sessions so that we can complete this chapter 18 as soon as possible. Okay. So very nice. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Please take care. Hare Krishna Dev, Hare Krishna Vinodji, Hare Krishna Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna Divik, and all those
Hare Krishna,
Achutanji.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Achutanji, Vandana Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji. Thank you all so much for joining today. Take care. Hare Krishna.